Hey guys, this is Satyajit Pattnaik here. Welcome back to my channel. Well, in this video, we are going to use a no-code data analytics tool, and using that, we will be creating an end-to-end workflow. Now, in simple terms, this can be treated as a data analytics project, but without Python, without SQL, without Excel, without Power BI, without anything that we have studied to become a data analyst. Well, in this video, we shall be leveraging a beautiful tool called as n8n, which is a workflow execution tool, workflow automation tool, and using that, we will be creating our end-to-end data analytics project. In simple terms, we will be taking an Excel sheet as an input to n8n. We will be creating multiple nodes of workflows, and eventually we will be getting our final dashboard on our mailbox. Well, talking about no-code data analysis tools, there are many such tools such as Julius, Eraser, Lucidchart, Langflow, etc. etc. And n8n is one such tool that stands out, especially if you plan to work on workflow automations, and if you want to integrate a AI chat model along with few other AI operations to automate a data analytics process, be it an auto ED, dashboard creation, cleaning, transformation, or anything else. Let me also tell you that this particular video is a part of our AI powered data analytics program that we have recently launched under the belt of Krish AI Academy on Udemy. If you want to enroll for it, a special coupon code will be in the description. Without further ado, let's get started. Hi, let's try to talk about this tool called as n8n.io. So n8n is basically an open source workflow automation tool that allows users to connect different applications and services without needing extensive coding knowledge. It enables you to automate repetitive tasks by creating workflows that can integrated with various APIs and services. You can think of it as a way to build custom automation tailored to your specific needs. What are the different features of n8n? Well, there are multiple options in n8n that you can get started with to create an automation workflow. Of course, it is a no-code tool, so no programming language is needed. In this workflow that we're going to create, we will also be using some code nodes, but you don't have to write those codes from scratch because there will be AI, so you can easily ask an AI with simple prompt engineering. You should be able to generate the codes as well. So that is also an added advantage of n8n. Apart from that, there are multiple integrations in n8n that supports such as applications like Slack, Google Sheets, GitHub. Let's say you have multiple databases like Azure database or AWS databases or GCP, BigQuery. All of these options are available on n8n. And all of this, whenever we are creating a workflow, the nodes that we are going to connect with each other, all of them are trigger based actions. So workflows can be triggered by various events such as receiving a new email or change in a spreadsheet, anything like that. Okay, so that's pretty much all about n8n. To get started with n8n, what you need to do is just click on sign in and you should be redirected to a page. Well, in my case, it's already signed in. But you will be redirected to a page where it will ask you for your n8n account name. Now, honestly speaking, I have not tried with a Gmail ID whether we can create an n8n account with Gmail ID or not, but I have created using company email as I already have one of my company emails. So in case you want to create a company email, I think there are multiple ways to create that. That is not in the scope of this discussion. You can explore by yourself on how to get started with n8n account creation. Once your account is created, then I can pretty much help you with the overall, what are the different options, how to get started, and blah blah blah. Right. So that is pretty much all about how to get started with n8n. Now let's try to talk about the different functionalities of n8n. Okay. So this is how the dashboard will look like. whatever workflows you will be creating, you will be able to see the workflows here, like the way you are able to see student engagement workflow, right? Similarly, you can easily create a workflow here. Okay, so we will be talking about workflows shortly. Now, apart from that, this is something that we have already used in our existing workflow. So whenever you are creating an existing workflow, you might have to give your credentials or authenticate multiple services such as Gmail, or such as using some OpenAI APIs, these kind of things. So that's why you can see all of these credentials are saved here. Okay, these are all personal credentials, right? And executions are nothing but different node executions. It's like an overall report card where you can see which one was successful and which one had failed. Okay, if you can always click on this to retry if you want to, or you want to delete it, you can delete it, right? So this is basically a dashboard overview. Apart from that, I'm not getting into personal and all those things. So I'm going to create this workflow. Okay, now as you can see, it's very simple. Using n8n is literally no rocket science. It's very, very simple. The very first thing is you just have to go to your workspace and then just create a workflow. That's it. And let's say I'm giving it a name. Let's say student engagement. Let's say part 2. Okay, just for the sake of having two different names, right? We had the first one, student engagement, and now we have the part 2. The very first thing is, in any project, the very first thing is data source, right? If you're connecting your data from any other data source, it's completely up to you. For this project, we are using Excel sheet, but as I told you, we are using Excel sheet from Google. That's it. That basically means I'm using a Google sheet, right? So I'm going to use Google sheet as one of my options and click on this. And here you can see I have 3 triggers. One is on row added, on row updated, on row added or updated. I'll click on third one, because what we are planning to do is we are planning to do an automation, right? That means after executing or creating this workflow, if there are like 100 more students who are part of this document, automatically if you rerun the workflow, the latest data should also be shown here. As simple as that. That is the only reason why we are automating this, right? So the very first thing is you create your authentication. I'm using my existing one, but how you can do is very simple. Just sign in with Google, right? And then once you sign in, it's just very simple. That's it. Now you have multiple things. One is mode. Let's say I'm going to do every minute. Now here I'm going to select the document from list. Now here in my case, I'm able to see the document on top, which is good, but you can also do a search, right? I'm also showing you my Google Drive, and let's say in my Google Drive, I have multiple files. Let's say one of the files is API keys, right? Let me try to search it here. API keys. See, we are able to get. Let's say one of my document is, let's say, view more. Let's say ZEP content idea, right? So I'll just search ZEP content idea, right? So I'm going to select my student engagement new. From list, which list? You can see I'm using dataset, right? Because this is my name of the worksheet, right? And row updated or added, very simple, and then fetch test event. You can see we are able to get the information in a tabular view, and this is how my data looks like. Very simple, right? And as you can see, there are some empty records which we need to do a data cleaning activity, right? So the first thing is done. The second thing is either you click here or you directly click here. It's your call. Let's say I'm clicking on this one and selecting code. And this code is majorly for data cleaning, right? So what we will do is, let me try to open my, it will not be visible to you because I have written down some of the prompts that I had used. Just give me 1 second. And where is that? Where is that? Where is that? Where is that? Maybe I might not have saved this prompt, which will make my life little bit difficult because I have to write down everything from scratch. But you can still write down everything from scratch. Should not be a big problem. So okay, let's try to write it from scratch because I'm not able to get my document. It's very simple. I just have to write a code to do data cleaning on the sheet, something like that. Write a code to do basic is not needed, data cleaning on the sheet. That's it. Generate code, and you will be able to see the code. How will we validate the code? Of course, using execute map. If something is wrong, you can rewrite it here, or you can take help of ChatGPT. So my code is ready, and now let's try to execute the step. And here we have the node has been executed and my data has been treated. Oh, I still see some empty records, but it's okay. Payment method, payment amount, I also want them as 0. Okay, let's say I will, because as I have spotted this problem, write a code to do data cleaning on this sheet. Make sure you convert the empty payment amount records as 0, and let's try to generate the code. Generate and replace the code. Code generation complete. Execute this step. Yep. And now, oh wow, yeah, good, right? So this step is done. Now as this step is done, we will be moving on to the next step, right? Next step is creating KPI. So I will be creating another code. So here also I will ask question. Let's say I will be asking a simple question. Write a code to calculate 6 to 8 KPIs and metrics out of the data set. I also want to create one KPI just for our example to show a bar chart. Let's say we want to do let's say I'll see the data. Let's say one of them could be, we had this location, right? Location distribution, right? So simply create one KPI to show a bar chart, student count by location. Okay, let's try to generate this code. So it should give me at least 6 to 8 KPIs, and out of 6 to 8 KPIs, one of them should definitely be this one. So let's see whether it is able to get me the code or not. Once your code is ready, we can quickly go ahead and execute the step. Now let me go through the code. For those who don't know, yes, I know JavaScript, so for me it should not be a big problem. But in case you are complete new to JavaScript, it's completely okay. You don't have to understand these codes. Very simple. You just ask AI and you read the code. In case you are confused, take this code to ChatGPT and you can ask what is this line of code doing, and you will be able to get the solution. So yes, we have the student count by location. Execute this step. I should be able to see this count. Yes. So total students, average age, total assignment submitted. Okay, I am able to see the student count by location. But if I go back, this is where a problem is. Total assignments submitted. Where is total assignment submitted? So here in this total number of assignments submitted, there is a problem. Okay, let me total assignments submitted. Um, okay. Okay. So let's say we have students, and then we are taking students. Total submitted assignments is basically students dot reduce sum of students, sum plus, okay, student dot assignments submitted. So we can simply make it, I'll just have to number of student of assignment submitted, and yeah, this is a small fix. Well, you can take help of ChatGPT, and you can ask that this is what my problem is, and you should be able to get a solution, right? It's a very simple piece of code. There was a minor bug, and yes, total submitted assignments completely proper, and now we also have student count by location, right? So all of these three steps are done pretty much. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a HTTP request, right? Now I'm just showing you the steps, so I'm just going to create two HTTP requests, right? I'm not going to create everything from scratch. So let's say HTTPS. Now this is something you need to copy paste, right? quickchat.io slash chat slash new, new or create, okay. And authentication, no need, send body. And this is where you need to change it to JSON. Okay, this is where you need to add, let's say it has to be a post method. Now this is where we need to add the total students, right? uh, so how do we add this? Hmm, how do we add this? JSON object total students. Let's say I'm doing this. Will I be able to get data after transformation? Must be a string and array buffer. Okay, JSON, this is not working. Let's say, okay, let's try to take help of ChatGPT. um I'm creating a n8n workflow. My previous step has a KPI called, what is the name of that? Let's say total students. I want to write a JavaScript code. Sorry, yeah, JavaScript. No, not JavaScript, right? What is that? It's basically a JSON object, right? I just have to write a JSON object to create a chart for showing total students. Okay, let's do this. Type equals to bar da da da, and then background color. Okay. Actually it's not a bar chart. Total students is just a number. I don't want a bar chart. Can you suggest me something? Because it's eventually a number, right? It's not a bar chart. So yeah, so it's giving an option for God chart. And let me try to copy this and paste it here. I am not sure whether this will work, but we can give it a try. Okay, it's not coming properly. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll try to write, can you give me a donut chart? um, can you give me a donut chart, let's say? It's logically should start like chart type donut, and then data. Can you fill it up? Yeah. So chart type donut, total students remain. Why it's giving unnecessarily two different objects? Okay. Uh, I don't need remaining capacity. I want to just show total students. Okay, now I have total students. Let me try to take this piece of code and then add it here and then execute it. I literally took little bit of time here to solve this problem last time, but honestly speaking, I don't remember how did I solve it. So let's say uh, the JSON parameter needs to be valid JSON is called by, okay, it's an invalid JSON syntax. Okay, and then pretty much the issue could be also because of these things, right? So let's try to close this off. This should work. Execute it, and now, yeah, now it should work. Problem in Node.json needs to be a valid JSON. Why it is not a valid JSON? n8n node says it is not a valid JSON. Yeah, it's working. Hmm. Yeah, it's working. Let's see if we are able to get something in the quick chat. Yes, we are able to see something, right? Well, it is not relevant, but it's okay, right? What I can also do is show it as a card. Let's say instead of this, can you write, can you make it like a card and not donut? Let's say. Not sure whether there is a card type or not, but well, let's give it a try. I'm just storing it in my this thing in my notepad, which might not be visible to you. Executing step. Yes, this should be a better option. Yep. And then, okay, this is something is wrong. This is not working. I'll move back to the last option, because this is something you need to spend some time to do some execution and retrials, right? As part of showing you how things are done, well, I cannot show you each and everything from scratch, so maybe I'll just skip this part. As we are already done with this particular graph, I'll move on to the next step. Okay, let me execute this node and quickly jump into the next step. So my HTTP request is done. I'm going to also add a I'm basically going to add a this thing, basic LLM chain. LLM chain. Okay, so here it's asking for the prompt user, and let's say there is no input connected. Let's try to connect it first. Let's say the connection is going to be done between the calculation of KPI to the basic LLM chain, and this is where, yeah, so here I need to basically change it to define below, and here I need to provide my prompt. Let's say I want to take these KPIs and use a LLM chain, write a prompt template to generate summary based on KPIs provided. So you're a data analyst, and this is what I'm going to provide here. Okay, uh, on summary, and based on what? Based on total students, uh, and based on, let's say, for now, let's say we'll keep it total students and this thing, and then execute this step. Oh, my bad, we need to connect a model. Okay, so let's say I'm going to connect a grok model to it. So I'm just using my own account, but yeah, you can create a new credential. It's very simple, right? Now grok model is added. Let's say I'm going to, okay, very simple. Now let's try to execute this step. Yep, we will be able to get a summarized output. See, the idea of introducing these tools like n8n, Make, Langflow is just to help you out in automation processes, right? As a data analyst, we might or might not use these tools, but understanding on these tools will always be beneficial, right? So let's say here I'm going to add the next step, which is going to be the merge step, right? Now in the merge step, I'm going to provide number of inputs, let's say 10, and here I'm going to connect all of these inputs. So basic LLM chain is one input, and let's say my second input is this one. Now instead of this, let's say you are adding another input. Let's say this one is, yeah, let's say this one is total students, right? Similarly, let's say you want to rename this to students by location, right? So you can also add that to the input 3, right? We don't have this one right now, but if you want, we can simply do the same steps the way we did for total students. We can do it for the students by location as well. Let's say similar to this, I have another KPI called, what is that? KPI called student count by location, and I need to show a bar chart for it. And then bar chart location 1, location 2. Don't take hard coded labels or values. Take it from the previous node KPI generated. So I'm going to copy this. Not sure if this will work or not, but let's give it a try. Students by location, yeah, all good. Student count by location, execute this step. There is a JSON error, and that is because of the commented things. Let me try to remove the comments and then execute it. Yep, now it is able to execute the node. Yes, so let's try to see. Okay, it's not coming. Okay, okay. Okay, maybe I don't want to spend time here. I'm just going to copy paste from my existing workflow that I have already done. So I'm just going to copy paste it. Uh, Now the error is because of the name of this parameter, which is instead of students by location, it is student count by location, right? So I just need to rename this one in the older KPI. That's it. So here I just need to change it to that's it and rename it to that's it. Execute it. I'm done. And here I need to, yeah, everything is good. Execute it. All good. And here I will just change it to this one, and then all good. Workflow is already running, so I'll run it later on, but yeah, once this is run you can quickly connect it to the merge option, right? So meanwhile, as it is running, let's wait for the output. There is an output. Quick chat. Let's try to validate. Yes, beautiful graph is with us, right? Now, as we have connected all the nodes, we have this merge node. Now what? Now we need to add the last piece, that is the code piece, right? So let's say I have added the code piece. Now what this is for right now, this is basically nothing but you need to write a code to generate the HTML codes. So let's say I'm going to ask AI that write a code to generate a HTML code having report with a detailed summary from the previous LM chain in an automated way. Let's see. I'm not sure whether this will work or not. You can generate code once this node has incoming input data. Okay, that means where is my code? Okay, here. This one, let's execute this. Okay, and so total students is still running. And now, yeah, this is done. So let's try to execute this node. Okay, now as my HTML report is ready, I'm just going to add the last one. Let's say I want to send a mail, right? So for sending a mail, I'm just going to use Gmail for sending a message, right? Now here I can use my same account, and what else? Maybe I can also message send operation and message send operation. Let's say I'm going to give my email ID as to subject, let's say new report, and email type is HTML, and message, let's say I'm just going to take the output of the merge, which is okay. I don't see an HTML output. Let's try to see this one. Generate a code. Generate a HTML code. Yeah, this is what we have done, right? Okay, write a code to take all the input items and then prepare containers, loop over each item, maybe loop over each item, and then compose the HTML summary for each chart, and then write a full HTML code report. Oh, sorry, not code report, just a report document. And what else? Return exactly one item containing the full report. And then I'm going to generate the code. In the meanwhile, as it is running, let me try to rename everything. So here, this is a data cleaning node. This was the KPI generation node. And this is pretty much the HTML code generation. So yeah, this is done. And then this one message. Why it's yeah. Now I have the code and execute it. Yeah, now I have the HTML report. Now, because I wanted this HTML report, right? So, because this will go as a message. And apart from the message, I also need to add, let's say if you want to also attach your original document. So, maybe in the message, you can uh, try to add the href link for the Google Drive. Let's say we can ask, I have the last node of sending a message via Gmail. Can you? I'm anyways passing my HTML from previous node. I also want to attach the original Google Sheet used. Can you write the tag for it? Yep, so let's say I will try to add this one, and here the Google Sheet URL pretty much should be directly from the variables. No, it's not coming from the variables. I can directly give the link of my Google Drive. You can access the original Google Sheet. href is basically, I'm just giving my link directly, okay? So let's say I'm going to here, share. Okay, and then I'm pasting it and execute it. Yep, and our mail should be in our inbox. Chart summary, okay, undefined. There is some problem, but we have the top locations and we have the Google Sheet. Yes, Google Sheet is available, and here also it is available. Yeah, so last part is pretty much working, but our chart summary is somewhat not working. Let me try to go back. What is the problem here? Let's say in the code. HTML report, you are generating the chart summary. HTML report item.name, item.success, item.url. Yeah, that's why it's not coming. Let's say I'm going to paste it from my previous workflow and execute it and see whether it is working fine or not. It's working fine. And let's say I'm executing this one. It's working fine. I have a new report. Yeah, nothing is visible, and that's because of the change in the variable names. Let me regenerate it. Execute. Send a mail. Execute. Okay, let me try to execute this entire workflow once, and we'll see whether we are able to get the final message or not. We are able to get the report, but yes, we are not able to get what we expected. At least these two things should be visible in our final dashboard. Sorry, the final report that we are getting in the Gmail. But let's wait for it. So to build this entire workflow, when I started recording for this particular project or particular use case, the actual workflow actually took me a lot of time because automations are difficult, right? It's not that straightforward, but somehow it helps you in the longer run, right? Let's say your data is keep on getting added to Google Sheets every time, and then every time you are generating the same report, of course you will look at an option where you can automate it, right? But to get started with your first automation, it will definitely take a lot of time, right? So okay, what is wrong here? Let's say I'm just forgetting everything. I'm just adding this HTML report, and let's say I'm going to execute it. So yeah, yes. So we are able to generate. So some of the images are not coming, and that's because why it's coming undefined. Undefined. That could be because of the title. Let me go back to this code. Uh, 1 second. Okay. Where is the success thing? Success. Oh, it's actually having undefined in the header, and that is the reason why it is coming as undefined. So if I go back, success undefined. Why do we need success and all? It's not needed, right? But I'm not going to use this. in the header too. Okay, name, success, and then I'm going to execute this one. This has actually been a lot of, it's been a very long video so far. I was expecting it to wrap it up as soon as possible. But yeah, what you can do is very simple. Just take this final file and just execute it. And whenever you're working on your own project, of course, it's worth it to spend time on your own project, right? But yeah, you can see we are able to get it. um, some of these things, which is the image is not getting loaded or something, that is something we need to fix it in this particular code layer. You can see the image source, this is where the issue is. But it's completely fine. The chart summary is coming, the overall summary is coming, the graphs are coming, everything is good, and that's basically your end-to-end workflow. Well, this is not it. As I told you that I will be finishing this project, in fact, just not with two KPIs. We will be having multiple KPIs added to it. And the final dashboard or final report that you will be getting on email will literally look like an actual analytical dashboard. So that is something we will also be coming up with shortly. See you in the next video.